Here to the Husker Online show. Sean Callahan here. As I said, we got a great one on tap coming a little bit later in the week, but I'm pleased to bring in a great friend of mine, a great friend of Husker Online. Let's welcome to the show, Jojo Domann. Joe, what is up, man?
It's good to be back, man.
What do you know?
Shoot, I know that every day I gotta work for it and earn my keep. And I'm just blessed to be in the situation I'm in. I'm thankful that I get the opportunity to reconnect with you and Husker Online. So, man, just taking it day by day.
So you're in Indianapolis. Obviously, you've signed with the Colts. Give us an idea what's going on now. What are you doing now? I mean, what's it like once you sign that contract?
Yeah, I guess you just locked in for the go around. Like nothing's guaranteed. Like just because I signed doesn't mean I'm like on the team. Like every day is an opportunity to not only get better, but also to prove yourself to your teammates and your coaches and the organization. So, like I said, just taking it one day at a time, taking the positives, taking the negatives, and trying to learn from it and be better. Like that's the name of the game. And I'm trying to become a master at that art.
What now? You talk about the Colts. I mean, what are you doing now? Like what's going on there? Like, I mean, you had practice and things today. What goes on in early June with an NFL team?
Yeah, we're on our voluntary OTAs, and we're really just installing defenses, getting some skelly 7-on-7 work, getting some full team kind of like walk through, jog through, tempo kind of reps, and then getting to know the special teams technique and trying out different positions. So this time right now is really just about learning. And I mean, you're not going to make the team in mini rookie camp and in OTAs. But this time right here is for me to improve, sharpen my sword so that when training camp comes around in late July, early August, that I'm in a position where I don't have to think. I can just go out there and play and to the best of my ability and give myself the best shot to be on the team.
We're talking here with former Husker and now Indianapolis Colt, Jojo Domann. How do they have you playing, Joe? I know that was a big question about you in the NFL and how they would utilize you. Are you out of the box? Are you in the box? I mean, give us an idea of what they're telling you of how they want to use you in the defense.
Shoot, I mean, first and foremost, like I'm going to be a special teams player year one. And from that standpoint, it's about versatility and value. And I mean, the more versatility you have, the more value you have. Also, the better you are, the more value you have. So it's kind of like a combination of how much can I do? How much can I stretch myself to play multiple positions across all the units and also be technically sound in all of them? So that's the challenge and the challenge that I'm up for. And when it comes to defense, I'm kind of playing this auto position, which is the 4-3 Sam. And then once we go to nickel, I've been playing Mike and Will, which has been new for me, but it's honestly been a great challenge. Just at Nebraska, I was all outside in, and now I'm inside out, and it's just kind of the inverse of everything that I've learned. So I really feel like I'm becoming a complete football player right now, and it's an exciting time.
How does it work in the NFL? I mean, in college, you have strength coaches and a program and team conditioning in the summers and the off season. How do they do that in the NFL? I mean, do you have a strength coach? Do you have a program where you do things and run and do all the things like you did in college, or do you have to do some of that on your own now?
Yeah, they absolutely have a program, and everything's calculated. Like everything has a purpose and for a reason, like down to like the nittiest grittiest details. Like it's really awesome to see like the people in the building, how much passion and responsibility they take for their role in this organization, which it takes everybody, literally from like the cooks to the janitors, the head coach, special teams coordinator, and all of us. Like the Colts has been amazing because I've experienced like a whole organization from top to bottom, and everyone's bought in, and that's just really advantageous to be around. And I've absolutely loved it so far. Yeah.
You talk about the draft though, Joe. I mean, I think all of us were surprised how that went. And, because they're saying you could be a third rounder all the way to a seventh rounder and your name wasn't called. I mean, when you go back just to those days, I mean, how hard was that for you? And, I haven't talked to you since then. So,
Yeah.
I know it was tough because you probably sat there all day Saturday and didn't know what was going to happen. But your dad's an agent. He's been through this a lot. He understands the game better than almost anybody because of his job. I'm sure your family was really, giving you some positive feedback. Hey, don't worry. This will work itself. I mean, give us an idea of what things were like, leading up before you got the Colts opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely was expecting to be drafted, and I'm an optimist by nature. So I was absolutely expecting it. And that's the fun thing about life is when your expectations don't meet your reality, you're faced with, an opportunity to either continue to trust and double down in belief in yourself or not. And like everything that I've learned and kind of tried to exemplify and embody, like I was tested, like at my most like seemingly pinnacle moment, like I was tested. And I'm thankful for that because it revealed like my support system, man. It didn't matter where I went or how late I went or didn't go. Like my support system did not waver. And we only got more like tight knit, like through the opposition, through the experience and adversity. And that was really inspiring. And then, yeah, it was just, it was an this is an opportunity for me to just like play this game that I grew up loving. And it's like, I have no expectations. Like I have nothing on my plate. Like I'm starting from ground zero. And that's honestly, it's been really nice. Like now on the other side of it, like I can just be free, be me. And I'm going to surprise people because I am an undrafted free agent that's going to make the team. So, I mean, I'm thankful for it and I'm better from it. And we don't know why like things happen the way they do, but if we trust it and like stick and move, push forward, like it's going to turn out in our favor one way or another.
I mean, the biggest thing when you got there and started working out with the Colts and you started to see the guys you're up against, you're like, I belong here. I mean, I'm sure it was that the feeling you had right away. You're like, I didn't get drafted, but I can do this. I know I'm capable of competing with the people that are here right now. I mean, give us an idea what that was like the first day or first week you kind of got going with your new teammates.
Well, like, I mean, off the rip, like everybody's kind of like dipping their toe in the water, like, like subconsciously, like looking at how other people are and well, how do I compare? Like, how do I fit in? And that's just natural. That's like our human condition. And like the more time I've been here, the more like I've gotten out of that space and like more into like just my own space and my own confidence and intuition. And like you said, every day, like I'm feeling like I belong that much more. And just how that feeling and that momentum is compounding on itself now to where I'm 100% confident I'm going to make this team. And if I don't, I'm going to make another team. And if I don't, I'm going to make another team. Like I'm never going to quit. So I'm going to make it.
When you did, I'm curious, when a guy like you that was ranked as one of the best guys available undrafted, how many options did you really have? I'm sure you had 15 or 20 teams calling immediately once the draft ended.
Yeah, I was on a call with a team and they called me during the draft and I got the call and I was like, interesting. Like, what's happening here? I pick it up. I'm outside shooting baskets and I turn around back to my house and I'm just talking to this team and they start off with like, yo, we're not drafting you, but we think you'd be a great fit here. Da 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 da. Talk for 5 minutes. I turn around, my whole house filled with everybody's outside looking at me, thinking I just got the phone call. And I'm looking at them, and that was like my heart just dropped. like everybody's expectation. Everyone like came outside, got so excited. Like I can only imagine I'm like rallying everybody, like, yo, Joe's on the phone, like, come outside, just for me to like just for it to like plummet. But yeah, so that happened, and but to answer your question, I guess it didn't even matter. Like I talked to a few teams myself. I know Craig talked to a couple, but when the Colts called, it was a done deal. Like my dad, Craig, was like, "Yeah, we're going to Indy." I was like, "All right, let's do it." Like I didn't second guess it. I didn't ask any more questions. I just trusted that he knew what he was doing and he knew what was going to be best for me.
Have you been to St. Elmo's Steakhouse yet?
Not yet. I'm going to wait till I get paid to go.
And I will tell you, Big 10 Media Days, JoJo, is in Indianapolis. So, if you're around, I don't know what, it's going to be in July. So it will be hard to say at this point, if you'd be available when we're out there. But
yeah,
we'll connect out there.
Dude, we have to connect. My mom's Teddy's been trying to get me out there like for the last 6 months. So the fact that I'm here, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I'll pull up. We'll link up.
We'll do dinner at St. Elmo's. How about that?
Beautiful. On me for once.
All right. Hey, as we wrap it up here, I do got to about the Colts so in general. I mean, have you been impressed with give us some insight of some of the veteran guys when you just see these guys work? Like, who are some of the big name veterans that you just have been like, wow, this is why this guy's been in the league?
I mean, our quarterback, Matt Ryan, great leader, speaks from the heart, like says what needs to be said, like, and he makes it simple, which is like very like encouraging, almost where he's like, yo, this is phase 1. We're attacking phase 1 to the best of our ability. So when we get to phase 2, we're ready for it. Then phase 2's come. It's the same thing. Phase 3 is the same thing. Like all of these are like stepping stones to the next phase. And just to have an experienced vet, like just lay it out for us, plain and simple. It was like, yeah, like he's right. Like, why aren't we all like approaching this process like this? Cool that they brought in Nick Foles, just to have 2 winning, like, good dude people at quarterback. Like the locker room's great. Darius Leonard's great. The linebacker core is great. The environment here is second to none. Like I couldn't imagine another organization being better than this. Like I almost didn't believe it at first. I was like, pause for a second. Like, is this too good to be true? And like, it's all like, it's real. Like what they do here is real. And I'm just, like I said, I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Have you talked to Jonathan Taylor yet?
I've paused on that. I thought every time I see him, I think about when I forced that fumble on him, but I haven't said anything to him. Not yet.
Yeah. Nebraska doesn't have much room to say much to a Wisconsin guy at this point.
Right. Philip Lindsay. We brought in Philip Lindsay. Colorado native, Denver South, CU Boulder, Denver Broncos. I got a little giddy when I first saw him, and now we're just teammates. But like, it's crazy when you lift the veil of like, oh, this dude's superhuman, or I look up to this guy to like, bro, he's like, we are one and the same. Like we're both on this journey. We both have our respected journeys, and it's just football at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's got to be as fascinating just to watch professionals for the first time, and you've been in college for so many years. I mean, you're probably older than a lot of these guys. I mean, some of the guys that have been in the league, I mean, with just being a veteran guy like you are.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm a few. Feel like a rookie sometimes, though.
Oh, yeah. No, and then finally, Nebraska, they've added 15 transfer portal guys to this roster, 3 JUCO guys, 33 new scholarship additions to kind of reboot things. I mean, just from your view, the 10,000-foot Jojo Domann view of it, I mean, what do you think, what's going on in Lincoln right now?
One, they're going all out. And I hope it works out. Seems a lot like the Michigan State philosophy last year, which worked out for them. And be exciting, man. Like, honestly, like, it's going to be the Garrett Nelsons and the Luke Reimers and the Norries and the dudes that have been there for 2-3 years. Like, it's on those guys. And these other pieces to the puzzle, like, need to get on board with the Nebraska, with the heart of Nebraska, right? And that's how this is going to work. If the culture isn't set and it's all about, you know, who's getting paid the most, gets the most clout, and gets to talk and gets to break down the huddle, like that, you'll never be successful if it's a clout game. But if it's about like true grit, character, and who gives a care about Nebraska at the end of the day, and you follow those guys, now we got a chance.
How big is that first game in Ireland? I mean, it kind of reminds you of last year, the Illinois game.
Yeah.
You know, it just derailed things where the Fordham and the Buffalo wins didn't enthuse anybody because you lost that first game. And it's almost a similar situation with Northwestern opening. And then you have Georgia Southern and North Dakota as game 2 and 3, North Dakota game 2. I mean, that seems like it looms large.
You play to win or you don't. Like you show up, like you train to win, you eat to win, you sleep to win, you study to win. Like everything you do is about winning. It's not about stats. It's not about this. Like the sacrifice to win is a greater sacrifice than really anything else because it's selfless. It's like I'm going to put the team success before my own. And if they come in with that attitude, with that preparation to Ireland, like the result's going to take care of itself. But if they don't, like literally these football games are just reflections of our preparation, ultimately. And I'm like, I thought I knew that, and I'm learning it to a new level now that I'm in the league. Like every rep you're not in there counts. Every rep that you're in there, definitely counts. Walk through, do everything perfect. Like there's no downs off. Like, why would you practice doing something not the perfect way? And it's a game of inches. It's a precision league in the NFL, so everything matters. And yeah, I'd say as like a team aspect, like that's got to be your mentality, is just to win at all costs. And I'm excited as everybody else. Like, let's see what happens.
Well, Jojo, let's stay in touch. I know we will, and I wanted to kind of reconnect with you, but wait until you kind of get going in Indy. And I appreciate you taking some time on a Friday, as I know you got a lot going on with the Colts. And
today.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Thanks for having me, Sean.
All right. Well, much more to come. Thanks again to Jojo Domann. You're listening here to Husker Online.